Hello, and welcome to Stars in the Dark, session 19. We're coming up on the big 2-0, but we're going to skip next week, so we'll have to wait a bit for that. I'll go through the wishes from our outstanding wishes first, and then we'll get into some other things. Mark wants to know what happened with Celine. We want the recording of Foco's and Bria's conversation with Molatevs was to talk to, I believe, to show up at a bad time. Everyone wants Thierry to get out of this hole and not in a bad way. Kai wants Roslin to take Valsi. We want the artifact off the board. Big question, can you get through this? Maybe, who knows? We'll get closer to an answer of that today. And we have a wish from a couple of sessions back about having a scene with Maxa to see how she's handled her situation. We'll see if there's an opportunity for that today. I have, since we had an actual job last session, I've advanced some clocks and made some rolls. Not all of these will take effect, excuse me, immediately when we start the game, because we're kind of in the middle of a thing, the fallout from Bade and Etema's escort mission, which will be immediately following that, and then we'll go probably be a slightly longer break, or we'll have like a couple of days. Anyway, I've advanced Amathem's Hunt, Kernok looking for Boko's contacts. And then the Garrison Scouts and Street Sec analysis, they moved forward. They didn't have a lot more to do, but they filled up their clocks, which means they now have a location, or they have the rough location of your headquarters. So they are ready to move, which will come into play in some way this session. Most likely, somewhat depending on what else happens, how long other things take. So I think we'll start with the with Street Sec's attempt to arrest Etema and Bade. That was the fallout we got last session, and I did some rough calculations because I like math. And by my estimation, after each job, as long as you're on the heat 6+ and you're at 4 wanted level, you're about 50-50 to get the worst possible result, that one of you gets arrested. So you don't want to be there. Now dropping heat will help with this, but in the long term, you want to reduce your wanted level, as we've discussed previously. You just need to find the right fall guy or gal, I suppose. But yeah, we'll start with Bade and Etema. This will not quite rewind, but this, you're boarding this ferry that we talked about, that goes up and down between some different levels. You're boarding that to go back to 1313 from 1314. You haven't had any issues. You've got tickets, and I think this is like the ferry itself is enclosed, but like the what do you say, gangplank or something, that's like open over the shaft. It has railings, but it's like open over the sides, because this is Star Wars and you gotta have giant shafts to fall into. You're walking up there. There's some big burly guy in front of you, kind of blocking the view, and there's like people are getting off the ferry at the back, and you're boarding in the front, like on a bus, kind of city bus. And you get on board behind this big burly guy. He almost jumps aside, and you can see that the passengers who were getting on before you, they're being rushed out the back. And this big guy, he pulls a blaster, and you look behind you, and there's like half a dozen street sec officers coming up behind you, moving towards the gangplank, if we're calling it that, and they're drawing their weapons, and you're like just stepped inside the ferry. What do you do?
So we are on the ferry.
You've just gotten
right, but we just stepped
into the ferry. Yeah. And this is like a big open. It's a big open space inside. There's a separate entrance to the cockpit. Not that this requires much flying exactly, but you gotta have a cockpit. And it's a big open space. There are like benches on opposing sides where people can sit, and then there's like straps or something you can hold on to if you're standing in the middle.
So we just stepped onto the ferry, and we came across a gangplank that doesn't really have any protection on the sides. I'm going to shoot the gangplank so those guys can't follow us.
Cool. That sounds like wreck, I think, unless you want to go for something else.
I don't have any wrecks, so I'd like to go for something else. Let's see. My intent isn't the destruction of property. My intent is hindering other people. Let me look and see if there's something that
Weird.
I could almost go with skirmish, because it's assault or hold a position. It's part in the description.
Yeah.
Are you trying to argue against wreck? Because it does feel like you're wrecking.
You're correct. I am destroying something, but my intent is more evasion than it is destroying. But I can certainly roll wreck.
I mean,
Skirmish,
that's the cool thing about Stars in the Dark and Blaze in the Dark is you can say whatever action you're taking. It just affects your effect. So you say what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So my intent isn't to destroy the plank. My intent is to keep the people from us. And if that means that the plank is just damaged or something like that, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So your goal is to hold them back. So it's more like you're firing, but you're not attempting directly to damage them. It's more like to force them back and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Then skirmish sounds absolutely perfect.
Okay. Do you have a devil?
That was a bit of roboting, but I think you wanted the devil's bargain.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. Please.
Yeah, you hit someone in the crowd, a civilian.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Let's see. And is this, what position is this? Is this desperate?
Yeah, sorry. I think you're in a desperate position. I think we have to accept that that's what this is. I think you have standard effect at this point.
Okay. And I'll roll that.
Oh, that's
crit. 2 6s.
Oh my God. So you do it with increased effect. Yeah, you can definitely shoot the gangplank out with this if that's something you're interested in. You absolutely cut loose with your blaster. You're going to force these these approaching street sec officers to take cover. You hit someone, a civilian who wasn't fast enough to get out of the line of fire. Etoma, what do? Bade is just blasting behind you.
Actually, let's say what I do. I'm going to spend a blaster, and on my load, and basically say I set this blaster for the increased effect. I set the blaster to like overload and tossed it out on the gangplank, and that just blew it up so that they can't come through. And I pull out another blaster, and of course the shrapnel is what takes out the other person, the bystander.
Yeah.
You said that so do I get increased effect from the crit?
Yeah, and that's what makes you able to take out the gangplank with this.
Fantastic.
Yeah, cool.
You said, if I recall, there's a burly guy like right up on us.
Yeah,
who drew out a blaster.
Yeah, and he like jumped to the side, so he's just a couple of steps away from.
Awesome! I'd like to killify him.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. How do you want to do that?
That's a great question. I think that
sorry.
I'm in a.
I just realized that we should probably establish load for you too.
I just said I was literally like switching my load. I think it's a normal load for,
and that's what I have. Yeah,
for Etoma, because of the mission we were doing before. She wouldn't have gone light, but definitely not gone heavy. So I think a normal load makes the most sense. I think that she is just gonna draw out a blaster and shoot the dude. Like she quickly draws a blast, probably with her left hand, and fires at the guy. Plop, 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 plop. This feels like a skirmish to me, so I'll be rolling with skirmish. Do you have a devil's bargain?
You could hit the you cause you hit something that causes a power surge in the shuttle, which blacks out the light, and maybe things will get worse from there.
Maybe you're making them better. How is that worse? That's so great. I will take that devil's bargain. Thank you. I will take that devil's bargain and apply it to effect.
Cool.
So I want to have a great effect, and I'm rolling 3 d6 for this skirmish. Five.
That's a 5. You do it with a consequence. I mean, he gets off a shot. You nail him, but he fires a shot as he falls. And severe harm, that's level 3. So he hits you right in the chest.
I will use an armor.
Yeah, that's sensible. And I think like a severe hit at close range, that's still going to, I think it's going to give you still a level 1 harm.
Okay, and that pushes up to level 2 because my level 1s are
because you
full.
already have the full. Yeah, then it becomes a level 2. Or does one of the level 1s become a level 2? I'm not sure about that. I'll check.
Okay. I think I read that whenever you take more damage, you go up to the next level.
Yeah, cool. We'll play it that way now, and we'll.
Would you say it was later. She was shot?
Right in the chest.
Okay, that sucks. I love it.
So the armor stops the blaster hit, like but the shock it doesn't absorb the full energy. You still get
Hold on, I have Battleborn. And I just want to double check. Battleborn is an ability that allows me to expend my special armor to reduce harm from an attack. Can I double up with armor and special armor to take nothing from this?
I say so. Yeah.
Okay.
You're
It's really
tough.
important to not go to level 2 right now, so I will do that, even though it is unwise. So yeah, and then the
Cool.
lights go out. That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah, and you see over on the at the end of the ferry, there's they're rushing passengers out. The other passengers who got on before you. So clearly this was a setup in some way. And there's a couple of those couple of people there turning around, pulling blasters and starting to shoot at you. So you have, but now they're shooting blind. They can't see you properly, and they probably don't. They're not sure. They probably did see exactly what happened to the guy you just shot. So, but they are shooting. Yeah, the other street sec officers outside, Bade forced them into cover. There's wild panic now on the docks outside. People are running every which way. They are, you can see the one who seems to be in charge is on his comms unit. You obviously can't hear what he's saying. The other ones are firing at the ferry, trying to hit you, but Bade has forced them into cover. So Bade, you'll probably have to retreat inside unless you want something bad to happen. But that's where you are right now. So what do you do?
Yeah, so I think we're like just inside the shuttle, and I'm going to rush the where the piloting area. Inside that piloting area, is there a droid or is there a person there, or what's going on?
There's a separate entrance to the cockpit.
Uh-huh.
So you'd have to go outside to get in, or there's like an emergency door that you can open, but it's locked currently. So you'd need to do something to open it.
can't
Yeah,
blame them for that.
I think I'm sorry.
I just said can't blame them for locking that door.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and open that door, and I will take slicing tools to try and open that up.
Yep.
And let's see, what would that be? Finesse?
Finesse or tinker, either work.
Okay. I'm going to roll that. Do you have a devil's bargain?
I mean, this could short out even more of the power systems, which means the ferry will start to tilt, and maybe this is not it's not going to be able to maintain its altitude for all too long.
Hey, like Hetema said, that's just a bonus, right? It sounds like it's helping us get out of the way. So yeah, I'll take that. So let's roll to see what that says. I got a 6.
Nice. Yeah, you get it open, and you remember you get XP when you're rolling a desperate action, and you obviously get XP for the devil's bargain as well. So yeah,
And
you do it.
inside that cockpit, is it a person or is it a droid or what's going on?
It's usually manned by a person, but right now it's empty.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hop in that seat and see what I can do to drive off.
Yeah, you get the door open and you plop yourself down in the seat. Etema, what do you do while baby? Sorry, did you want to add something?
No, I was just reminding everything's starting to tilt, so everything's starting to slide off to the side. Yep.
Yeah.
So we're in the dark. Do I see any threats? Are there any incoming threats to Bade in the front of this ship?
There's 2 or 3 people at the back of the ferry who are shooting at you. They're kind of like it's the odd blaster bolt coming. They're thrown off by the shuttle starting to tilt. They can't see you properly. but there is some light coming in through the door by the gangplank. So they're taking pot shots basically, but you are under fire.
Okay. Then if I can pull the door slightly closed and lean against it, because I imagine Bait is, no offense, not the best pilot. I'll try to do that so that I don't get thrown around, and I will squeeze off a few shots at those folks, because what else am I going to do? And what if they come close? So at least I keep them from rolling up on us if I'm firing back.
Yeah.
And if I hit one, awesome.
Cool. I think this is a skirmish. If you want to roll that, which you usually do want to.
I do like to roll that. It's one of my favorite of all actions. Got a 5 again.
You get a 5. You do it with a consequence. So yeah, you force them to take cover. You don't think you took out any of them, but you're not sure, because you're also firing into the dark.
Sorry, I do have a cyber eye, so with night vision.
Oh, right. Yeah. So that I think that's just, it's coming on, like, so you can see them. I think it helps that when you close the door, there's no more daylight, or I shouldn't say daylight because there's no daylight down here, but no light coming in from the outside. That's one of the weird things about Coruscant. There is no daylight. All light is artificial. And I imagine since light costs money, that means that in the poor areas there's night all the time. Sorry, that's an aside. I think the reasonable consequence here is that you take harm again. One of the pot shots hit you, so you're going to take. And since this is desperate, you're taking level 3 harm again.
Oh, shit.
But you can resist it. It's a consequence, so you can make a resistance roll. You were pretty bad on stress though. So.
I am.
And you do not have the load for heavy armor.
No, I do not. I love it. Okay. Shot in the chest. Man, using both those armors turning out to bite me in the butt. I'm into it.
You don't even want to make the resistance roll? I'm just checking.
Stress. No, it's a great.
Because now now you're at need help, which means you pretty much can't do anything.
Oh, then I will definitely resist it. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I will resist that. So cool. This is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna resist with prowess, and our crew means that I'm resisting +1, right? Resistance roll. Yeah, there we go. So I am rolling 5 dice to resist.
Yeah. But you need to roll at least one high result.
Yeah, I do. Here we go. Oh, that's 6. Oh, thank you for asking me if I needed to resist. I wasn't thinking about the consequences of a level 3.
Yeah. Just we've been bad about tracking harm properly, so.
I think it's a blast. If you remember from the original trilogy, like the blaster bolts would like blow holes in walls, kind of thing. So I think it's one of those where she barely moves her head out of the way. Maybe she didn't have the cyber eye. She wouldn't have seen the bolt until it was too late. And there's this like smoking hole behind where her head was just a second ago. Whew, get moving, babe. This is exciting.
Yeah, so you force those people in to take cover. One of them is on the floor. You're not sure if they're moving or not, and the others have like squeezed in behind the like at the ends of the benches by the side of the ferry. So Bade, you can see through the window of the cockpit that the street sec officers, there's a couple of other more running forward, and they're carrying like a heavy blaster rifle and a mount for it. So they're clearly going to set it up and open serious fire.
Is there anything preventing me from just gunning it and taking off, like just tearing away and going as far down as I can?
Not really, other than the electrical systems are on the fritz and you're not familiar with the controls, but theoretically you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I just want to say I love that answer.
So typically vehicles is finesse, so you can use that if you want, or if you want to argue for something else, but I think finesse is one of your better actions.
Yeah, and I'm gonna push myself for an added die. And that's 2 stress, right?
Yep.
If
Okay.
I help, you could take great effect, which could overcome some badness.
How would you help?
Do you propose to help?
I imagine that Edema might slam the door closed and run over and flip a few toggles on the stabilizer and try to.
That means
support
you're
me.
no longer keeping the enemies under suppressive fire. That means they're going to be able to move forward.
I gotta hold the door.
Or open fire on you.
I gotta hold the door.
If you want to help, one option would be you could see that we're hung up on like the other gangplank or something, and you could blast at it.
That work for you, Undish? As a
absolutely
narrative way without me giving up my holding position?
That would require you probably to like open up the door, lean out, shoot the gangplank. That would expose you to fire from the outside. So I think you'd have to resist taking that fire. You'd have to either take level 2 harm or resist that.
Oh, that sounds fun. I'm into that. So I will spend a stress to help you by opening the door, firing at the last gangplank until it rips apart, and I imagine we're going to start to do a little rotatey thing from the pressure, but I will now resist. Get the shot. Oh,
you want a 6 because you only have 1 stress left now.
Oh, that is it.
You get a 5. Yeah. So you're that means you're out of the scene. It doesn't have to mean that you're knocked out, but you're no longer able to act. So what happens?
I think Edema shoves the door open, fires at the gangplank, then the whole ship starts to rotate, and she slides down and slams her head right against the door frame itself, and she's out, just looking at stars now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Babe, let's see that finesse roll.
Okay, so that's 3d6 with pushing myself, and for great effect with Etima's help.
Yep.
Ooh, a 4.
4?
Just barely.
That's you do it, but with a consequence. I don't think I can hit you with severe harm here.
I have a suggestion if you want to use severe harm. That would be as the ship spirals out, I just smash it into like one of the walls or something like that, and I can take severe harm from the crash. And
you slam into the control panel. Yeah, that sounds perfect. Take severe harm or resist it. And if you take severe harm, that means you're barely able to do anything. So that's pretty bad.
Yeah, so I'll resist that, and What do I resist that with? With prowess?
You
What do I
choose
choose?
what makes sense to you.
Prowess makes the most sense. Because I'm trying to, manhandle and stay stable.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a 4 there too, so I take 2 stress. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think I just smashed into like some of the tunnels or something like that. And I think it's, if we can, I think it's time to get out of the shuttle and, go grab Etema and we'll take off down the tunnels.
I think because you're in this shaft, like this one. So, and you've been right up here, right? And you're trying to get down. So I think what happens is you smash into the wall of the shaft. That's when you hit your head. Yeah, you're still. I don't think you're far enough down that you can get out yet. Now you're like in the air here,
Okay.
under the. So you're like above level 1313 in the shaft, going down.
I see. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can hear the people, whoever they are, in the back of the shuttle. They're yelling to each other and they're trying to move forward. You can see, like, you glance over your shoulder and you see they're pulling themselves forward by holding on to the benches because you're spinning out of control. They can't let go, but they are moving forward.
I think I'm going to tell Etema, hold on tight, and I'm going to spin and see if I can't throw them out.
Ooh.
And I'm well aware Etema is unconscious. Steven is. Spade isn't.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. That sounds like finesse again.
Okay. Oh. Didn't do that.
Unless you.
And whenever we take a desperate action and we roll on something, we that's the thing that we take a tick in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Do you have a devil's bargain?
I
mean, things are getting real dicey. So
nothing that isn't super terrible. I mean, I don't want to say that Etema gets thrown out because that's just too bad. But because then she just dies, and that's not fun. You could have short out in the electrical systems, which means you completely lose control of the shuttle. That's also very, very bad. If someone else has a suggestion, I gladly hear them. But I have a hard time coming up with something that isn't like super, super bad.
okay.
Well, Bria's eating ice cream right now, and the devil's bargain could be like the ice cream falls on the ground and she'd be upset.
Okay.
I had to. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, it's good.
That's
I
fine.
think everything is horrible now. So I'm gonna roll. And that's 2d6. I got a 4.
Yeah.
Still
So you
desperate.
do it. The back door is still open. They didn't have time to get it shut. You like tilt the shuttle so that the front goes up. They fall towards the back, and then you tilt to the side. They scramble, but they are just they slide out. Maybe one of them is still hanging on. You can't be sure, but they're outside the shuttle itself. I think the consequence here, is that Etema also slides towards the rear exit. She's not out there, but she's like lodged against the bench right near the rear exit. So she's any wild maneuvers definitely risk throwing her out.
I see. Yeah.
You can resist, and you can resist that part with Etma being in danger, because that's the consequence from your result.
Yeah, I can resist that, but I only have a couple of stress left, and if I stress out, then we're all dead. You know, so I don't think I will. But I think I'm going to start looking for a place to not safely land, but crash into. That big sturdy building is not the best place to land, but that soft, structure over there, maybe that's a better place to hit. Yeah.
That kind of sounds like survey, I think.
Okay, that sounds good. Oh, I have one in survey. No help. I could do a flashback, but that costs stress. If I push myself, that'd stress me out. Devil's Bargain.
You won't be able to land in a safe place, like away from something. You'll have to land like in the middle of SecSec, the security sector. I know that's harsh, but
no, it's true. It's great. That's tough
because that's close to the docks as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I don't know if I want to just risk this on 1d6, but maybe that's where I'll do it.
50-50 shot, one die.
yeah, and this is just looking for a reasonably safe place to land.
When you're surveying, usually the failure isn't physical harm, so that's true. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
okay.
If you fail here, you don't see a good place to land. That's the.
I see.
So
and then, so this does not include landing, right? This is just looking for a place. Got it. Okay, so I'm not going to push it.
Yeah, but a failed roll will still entail a consequence that you'll either have to take or resist. So that's the bad part. But it doesn't mean you automatically crash or anything.
Perfect. I think as I'm going down, I start radioing Mayday, Mayday on our comms, to the rest of the gang, and I'm going to roll my 1d6, and I got a 1.
Yeah, that's not great.
No.
You're looking around, and now I'm looking at the map. So you're like in the big black circle at the docks, and you have the closest place you can spot a high building is the garrison. You definitely don't want to land there in the middle of the stormtroopers. There's like the really big building that's the administration center. That's in the middle of SecSec, where the imperial bureaucracy have their headquarters. That's not a good place either. And other than that, there's really nothing good. It's like densely built up areas with a lot of buildings. That's not great for landing. So you don't spot a great place, and that's the failure. And then you get a complication or consequence as well. I think you spot a TIE fighter taking off from the garrison. This isn't, and this is something I looked up, this isn't the regular TIE fighters. I'm going to drop a picture in it's a TIE aggressor, which is cool.
That sounds scary.
It's like I need to find the right place. Yes, and the picture. So this, I'll drop it in the current jobs tab.
That is a
It's-
mean looking ship.
Yeah, it's a variant TIE fighter that's like a fighter bomber. It has a turret on the underside. It's not as fast and maneuverable as a standard TIE fighter, but it's better for using against. It's not a dog fighter the same way TIE fighter is, but it's better for bombing people, which is kind of what you want in this this sort of area. So yeah, you spot it taking off. It's still pretty far away, so you're not in immediate threat from it, but it's there.
So does anyone else have any suggestions? Otherwise, I'm going to do something terribly stupid. Rich?
I mean, yeah, jump is totally what I would have suggested. Like, grab
Okay.
that and jump out.
So
While
I'm
sitting
not sure I
at
can.
the TIE fighter, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not sure I can jump, but I think the best thing I can do is probably I'm going to try and bounce off of the garrison building, like a ricochet off of it, like a billiard ball, and then try and crash into the fish market because, it's a little bit further away from the security, maybe. So this is not going to be fun. And now this might be wreck. No, my intention isn't to destroy the garrison. My intention is to get down. But I'm gonna wreck some stuff getting there.
Yeah. I think you can still roll this with finesse because it's about piloting this highly unstable shuttle which is not built for this sort of thing.
Yeah. So I think that's the intention is I think we see the flames coming out the back and like there's stuff coming off and flying off. And I'm gonna smash into the garrison and try and, reduce my speed and then, flop in the fish market. And again, I don't think there's much I can do. If I push myself, I stress out and we're both gone. If I don't think I have enough stress for a flashback, I can't get any help. A devil's bargain. Do you have an idea for a devil's bargain? The only other thing I can think of, basically, they're all terrible. They're all terrible, and would like, yes, you all die in the crash. So if you have a suggestion, that would be great.
I would say that if you stress out, but you succeed, then you're not dead and you're not automatically apprehended, captured, because you're off, you're away from the most dangerous area. Someone will probably have to come pick you up, but you have sent out a call, so the rest of the crew know where you are. So I think you can push yourself without it being like an automatic fail of everything.
Okay.
And the devil's bargain would be that someone who isn't friendly but isn't your worst enemies will pick you up before the crew gets there.
Okay. So, okay, so I will stress myself out to get 3d6. I don't think I'm going to take that devil's bargain because I think we've taken up enough spotlight and maybe the other guys can do something. So I'll just roll with 3d6 and we'll see where that takes us.
Yeah.
I got a 5.
Ooh. You do it with a consequence, and I think severe harm is the reasonable thing here. Because you're crashing a ship. You can resist it, but no, actually, I don't think you can resist it since you're stressed out. I think
I could take my armor, right?
Yeah. In this case, it will reduce it to a level 2 harm.
Okay.
It won't remove it completely because this is kind of massive damage sort of thing.
Got it.
And is Edom also taking that damage?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're taking level 2 harm. No, you should also take level 3 harm. I think that's the fair fair thing to do here. Cool. So you managed to get the shuttle somewhat under control. You bounce off like the tallest building in the garrison, flying like under this TIE fighter that was taking off. You scrape along the building, losing even more of the ship than you that had already fallen off. You like touch on the wall that surrounds the garrison, crashing through one of the towers, and right out into the fish market. And the fish market, it's a commercial district. There's not many high buildings there. There's a lot of warehouses and that sort of thing, and open markets. I think you crash into a big warehouse, splash down among the eels, the semi-processed eels.
Mm.
So we're on the hour. I think we'll cut to Bria and Boko briefly, and then we'll take the break. But I want to give you a chance to react to this call. And I think this is happening while you're returning from your meeting with Tor Bracken. You have your tracker that you planted on him, and you can see his meeting. Yeah, you had a meeting. You can see, you can see the tracker moving because you were out in the gardens. I'm going to say like straight west of the stench. And his shuttle is moving like southeast towards the Warrens, the fish market, that sort of area.
Cool.
And then that's when you get this Mayday call from Bade.
And we don't have time to respond while all this stuff is happening.
I mean, you could, if you can. No, you're not. You can't respond while before the shuttle goes down, basically.
Yeah.
But if you get a hold of a speeder, you can get to the crash site reasonably quickly, I'd say.
Cool. And we're like on our way back from the gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bria sounds like they're in trouble. I've never heard Bade. I've never heard that level of panic and terror in Bade's voice before.
I didn't know we had an emergency channel.
Neither did I. It's good to know, I guess. And we can tell where they are from the transmission, right? We don't have to.
No.
I think you can look up.
Yeah. I think you see that shuttle.
Essentially.
Yeah. And then you see it bounce off the garrison and
nice
on its way towards the fish market. I don't think it has crashed yet, but you can see what's going to happen.
Yeah. What is around that we can grab? Vehicle-wise.
You can, if you're willing to just steal whatever is here.
Oh, I am.
Then I think make a roll for it. Make a survey or something similar, or if you have an idea for a different.
Yeah, survey sounds good. See what's going on.
And I think you're in a risky position. You're not in immediate danger, but you are kind of out of your element here.
Yeah.
You're not usually out of guard.
Cool. That sounds good. Bria, did you help in the survey? Cool. I think I'm good with three dice.
Yeah, so that's a stress for Bria, and how this goes.
That's just 3 dice straight up. Cool. A 4, got a 4.
Yeah. So I think there is, I think you have a couple of choices. There's like a delivery truck. It's a speeder, but it's a speeder truck. It's not super fast, so it will take you a while to get there. But it's standing. It's in a place where you can grab it without being noticed. You can get out of here without issue. But there's also an air speeder, a personal air speeder. That's fast. That will get you there quickly. But there's like a guard or someone standing around watching it, at least. Maybe it's just the driver. He doesn't look heavily armed. It's what's the three-eyed guys?
A Gron?
Yeah. They're usually pacifists, so he probably won't put up too much of a fight, but you know.
Is there room in the faster one for 2 more people?
Yeah, it's like a 2-seater. So he's probably the personal driver for some manager or something.
Cool. I think I should like make a beeline for that one with as many eyes as I can lock with him. And just pull out the blaster and it's like back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. We're taking this. Like not subtle at all.
And he's backing up. He sees a big scary dude with a blaster running at him, and someone else following them. So he's he backs up and does not want any of this.
Throw us the key, 3 eyes. Come on, let's go.
In the DVD,
He throws you don't have
in the DVD extras, there's the interview for this position. And it's like, so you want to be a bodyguard, huh? What would you do if someone walked up to you with a gun and put it in your face? Run away? Like, I want to see this interview.
That's fair. Yeah, I would too.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you grab
Cool.
the air speeder, and that means
Bria, get in. We gotta
get
go.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get there fast. We'll take a break now. Is 5 minutes enough?
Yep.
Cool. So, Boko and Bria, you hijack this this airspeeder, and this is a nice one. It's used. It's not a new one, but it's fast and it's a smooth ride. You can quite quickly get to the crash site. There's other people there, like there's some sort of emergency responders who are fighting the fire because their ship was burning, but they haven't like actually I think since the doors were open they pulled Etema out, but you don't see Bade.
So Bade was the one that sent the distress,
Yeah.
so we know she's there somewhere. I think I pull up the speeder as close as is reasonable to the crash site, and I get like, my people are hurt, so I just like jump out and immediately like just stride with all my cop confidence towards the crash site and just like, street check, these 2 are wanted for for questioning. We have to bring them in. Don't touch anything. Put that one in our speeder. I'm gonna go look for the other one and see if anyone jumps.
Yeah. This sounds like command.
Oh shit, yeah, I guess so. Yikes. I've got 1 die in that.
Actually, you don't.
I don't. Oh no, I'm looking at Etema. Well, look at that. Cool. Let's try it anyway. I'm gonna push then to get that 1 die at least.
Bria helping?
Or Bria can help you,
Yeah.
or just the 1 stress. If you have some idea for how you'd help.
I'd help by unmuting. Let's see.
I mean, you can probably just play into it, like you're also street psych officer of some kind.
Right. I grab a data pad that's in the speeder, and
Nice.
I start like taking notes and blah blah blah, like just faking that I'm official or whatever. What am I
Picking
even,
up people's information.
yeah, what am I even wearing? I don't know, but I'm pretending to scan things, and we'll see if it helps. We'll see if it helps.
Awesome. So that's 2 dice. Cool. I'll take it. Playing street sick. Okay, no whammies.
Is this risky or?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is risky standard. Yeah, so
yep.
you succeed, but with
4.
a consequence. Whoop. Okay, there we are. Not harm at this point. I think what happens is you get people believe that you're a street psych. They start helping you. 2 people they put Etema on a stretcher. They start carrying her to the speeder. It's not really built to carry 4 people, but
Right.
they do what you tell them. They carry her there, and they kind of look at you. What do we do now? But you get like what seems to be like the security chief for whatever or for the warehouse, the one who's responsible for the warehouse. It's not just the security guard. This is someone higher up who. This is a human, and she walks up to you and. Can I see your identification, please? I need to report this to my my superiors, and that's the consequence, which means you can resist it. But
Yeah, I think I'll resist that. Yeah, why not? Let's resist it. I'd probably with resolve, I guess.
Resolve
What
work?
are you doing to resist? Like, how does it look like?
Yeah, I think I just telling her like I got this call. It was emergency. I didn't have time to grab anything. I'm working undercover, so I can't carry a badge on me. Clearly, you should know that.
Yeah, cool. So you've got
yeah.
4 dice since you have an extra
4
from
dice.
your crew ability.
It's 5, so I'll take 1 stress for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Of course. I'll just call it in, and she walks off to handle that. But that's going to take a while, so you're not worried that will interfere with what's happening now.
Cool.
And you can go into the shuttle. You find Bade knocked out across the in the cockpit, bleeding, clearly injured from the crash.
Beta's kind of tiny, right? Younger.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, just go for expedience and grab her and throw over my shoulder and get back to the shuttle as fast as possible. Or the
Yeah,
speeder.
Bria. Boko goes into the ship. What do you do?
I immediately turn around and run walk to where Etema is, and I'm like, Etema, babe, you can wake up, or you could stop pretending to sleep now. Come on, wake up, baby. And like she doesn't know what Etema's like. If Etema's like, so she gets like really close, like intimately close, and like waits to feel Etema's breath on her cheek, and when she feels it, she she hugs her and says, I don't know what I would do without you. And that's what she's doing. Being useless.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, and they've patched them up like very basic, so she's not like bleeding to death right now.
Right now.
Babe, no one had gotten to before, so you can all four squeeze yourselves into this speeder. It's like one of those. It's got the whole front seat. It can sit two comfortably, but I mean you can squeeze in three without problem. Four is pushing it, especially if two of them are unconscious. But you know, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I think getting the injured ones in the middle is probably the best bet there for keep them compressed to keep them from bleeding. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, I think we just like get him in there and get the hell out as fast as possible before anyone starts asking more questions.
Yeah, I think I want to see a roll from whoever is piloting the speeder to see how well you get out of there without before this TIE fighter showing up or something else happens.
High aggressive.
Right. I'm okay driving. I don't know if either one of us is better at it. What do you think?
I have more stress in case there's a consequence, so let me.
True. Okay, cool. And I'll make sure that the other two, I'll while you're driving, I'll try and stabilize Bade if possible.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just like do basic, like don't bleed.
Right.
Yeah.
So finesse roll, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Am I a
The
part of
most
this
bargain would be that the security person there got a good look at both of you and can describe you clearly.
Well, not well. So are we on this job now? Do I have load, or can I use the things on my sheet, or?
Yeah, you can have whatever load would be reasonable for you to have carried when you met with Tor. So probably medium, but probably not heavy.
Okay. Let's see here. I have like a camo cloak, but that would probably just make them even more suspicious.
I mean,
this is all right. Right. This is a devil's bargain. This is not a consequence. Okay. I was trying to think about how to resist this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was okay. So if I want that devil's bargain, I see.
Yeah. Or you can suggest a different one.
Yeah. No. I mean, everybody knows where we are and what we're doing right now. Okay. All right. I'll take it. So 2 dices, and they can ID us. And oh no. Well, if you add them together, I got a 6. So that's
that's
successful.
not how this game works.
I know.
So things go badly.
Things go badly.
I think this is your position becomes desperate because the TIE fighter picks you up and starts following you. You can resist that. but you're not away. You're not in the clear either way because you failed the roll.
Yeah. How, if I don't resist this, then there's like a battle sequence, like a chase battle sequence?
Not necessarily. That depends on what you do next. I mean, if you ditch the speeder and continue on foot, then the TIE fighter can't do much. Then
Oh,
you
I see.
then it depends how we continue depends on exactly where you'd be. I mean, you can probably get out of the fish market, so you'd likely be in either the Warrens or the Gardens.
Okay. I mean, I was hoping for a chase sequence, but all right.
I mean, you can do that. You can do that. It depends on how it. But the situation is, if you don't resist it, then the TIE fighter has spotted you and is following.
Okay. I'm not going to resist it, but I am going to gun it and see if I can get us out of here.
Nice.
Cool. So what's the plan? Because you're probably not faster than the TIE fighter, but your airspeeder is smaller, so you have that advantage. You're probably a bit more maneuverable, at least at slow speeds. The TIE fighter can't really go slow, at least not for any longer period of time.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to roll prowl in this situation.
I mean, if you're
a villain even.
Yeah, I mean, if you go down to street level and like go around, try to stay out of sight.
Get in a parking garage.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to prowl and try to move about unseen. Well, or less seen, I guess. So let's see here. Okay, none of my special abilities help. All right, 2 dice. 3, 2, 1. All right. Do that. All right.
Yep. So desperate position, meaning you get the XP.
Oh, we're as oof. Yes.
Yeah, that was the consequence, that your position becomes desperate.
Got it. Well,
yeah.
Here we go. XP.
So you do it, which means you lose the TIE fighter. It can't fly low. You see it circling, but after a while, the pilot loses his patience or just figures you've gone to ground somewhere. So you lose the TIE fighter, but there is some other sort of consequence, and I think the speeder runs out of fuel before you get home. And I figure if you're going to do this sneaking around thing, that's probably best done in the Warrens. So now you are like halfway through the Warrens, like between the stench and the foundry. The airspeeder runs out of gas, figuratively speaking.
Is that a resistible consequence?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I will resist with insight, and as I notice that the fuel is starting to go low, I see that this vehicle has a lot of energy going towards a sound system for music that I don't need. So
Awesome.
Well, just in general, I conserve gas. It doesn't have to be silly, like I divert power from audio systems or whatever. But
drive slower, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I start using updrafts. I let
nice.
and so I'm doing this crazy like little floating thing. We're just, popping along from place to place where I know that like factories are pushing up hot air and just stone skip our way home. That's a less silly way.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, so that's 4 insight dice plus 1 is 5 dice. This is how much stresses do I take? None.
Zero.
Nice.
I was hoping for critical, but none will be okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, we float like a butterfly home.
You do indeed. Nice. Yeah, so that was pretty rough. But just to put this into perspective, all of this was instead of someone just being arrested and immediately basically going to jail, or spending 7 credits. Those were the other alternatives. So I don't feel unfair, but then I have my GM hat on, so I'm a bad evil person. Cool. You're all back at the hideout. Etema and Bade are in a really bad way after the crash, but you regain consciousness. What do you do? What's the next step?
So how does that level 3 harm on Etema work? Does she need help to do anything, or
Not
like a
quite. Let me
like
check
anything that I need to roll?
Where do we have? Oh. Is this? That's so bad. Just sorry, I'm scrolling past all the Kickstarter backers to get to the here we go. Consequences and harm. So severe harm. When you're impaired by harm in the top row, severe harm level 3, your character is incapacitated and can't do anything unless you have help from someone else or push yourself to perform the action. So basically bedridden.
Cool. What can we do to help her?
You have downtime actions. Since Etema and Bade did the job, you have your downtime actions. I would suggest that Bade and Etema spend some time healing, probably.
Okay, fine. You can't make me. Okay, maybe you can.
Are you going to push yourself to resist the consequence of healing?
Is it a desperate situation and I get XP? If so, maybe.
So do you call in more? Do you try to, because I don't think you're in a situation where you want to bring them to a medic.
Morn sounds like our best bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he may not be so easy to get a hold of.
He hasn't left for his pilgrimage yet.
Okay, got it.
It's just been like a day or two since you talked to him last.
Okay,
most.
yeah. Well, I assume he's hanging out with the orb, right?
He's spent most of his time in the Keldor quarter, with the other Keldor. So
Got it.
that's probably
it.
where you can find him.
Oh, got it. He's in the Keldor quarter. Perfect. Okay, I can figure that out, right? So
Yeah.
well, Boko's the tracker. He gets experience for tracking, so maybe
That's true,
he should,
yeah. Track him
should
down.
I
do
mean,
that.
you've both been there. I think you know where
Okay.
where he lives in the.
Well, I don't want, like, we're at war. I don't want to leave these two alone. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
can
I'll
go
stay
in
here.
if you want to take care of Edema and Fade.
Yeah.
Cool.
And use that emergency channel if you need it. I didn't even know
Yeah,
about
that was a good discovery. Quick thinking on Fade's part.
I think you have.
Cool.
I mean, you have comms. It's just that it's your
No,
comms.
no. It's just Nana. I don't think any of us would admit that we needed help except for Bade. So this whole concept of like, hey, you could ask for help.
Interesting.
I'm being silly though. I apologize. All right.
No,
please.
it's fine.
Yeah, I'll head out and find Morn and yeah, tell him that we have a bad situation, and it would be cool if he could come back and help.
It's worse than usual?
It's way worse than usual. We had to I mean, Emma can't even stand up by herself. We had to outrun a TIE aggressor. I'm sure you saw the shuttle thing that happened. They were on that. We've got a lot of people looking for us right now. It's a bad scene.
So
I'd really appreciate a little bit of help if you can spare it.
Is it bad enough that I should bring someone to assist me, even if it's extra exposure? So
I mean, anything that you can do. Do you trust him?
It's one of the other pilgrims. I don't think she'll tell anyone.
You take
But
responsibility if she does.
So if she gets picked up, I can promise it.
I think we need to risk it. They're both, Bade and Edema are in it. You'll see.
Okay. I'll go talk to her. And I will make a fortune roll. Yeah, Morn sends you back, tells you to get back, and he'll come later. And he shows up about an hour later with his medical equipment and another Keldor who has like a blindfold on, and he's led her through the tunnels, so she doesn't know where she is, but she seems to trust Morn. So both Bade and Etema, you can spend downtime actions on healing. It's Morn rolls with 2 dice, but I think with this extra assistance, you'll get to roll 3 dice. So you have slightly better odds of getting a good result. So I assume each of you will want to do this at least once.
Why don't you go first, Etema?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm rolling 3 dice to heal.
Yeah. Unless you have something. Oh, right. You have a box checked off. So
Yeah, I start with a box checked off, so it's easier for me to heal, but it doesn't give me a bonus in the healing that I know
Yeah.
of.
I think there's something for that on the. Yeah, you can get an infirmary for your as a holding. That's +1 die to healing roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Edema takes +1 dice to healing treatment rolls too. Yeah, that vigorous.
Oh, right. Thank you. +1.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 4 dice. I'm pausing because I'm
Thanks.
like, is there anything else I can do?
Yeah, vigorous. Yeah. You get both. Oh, both one checked off and an extra die.
It's really
Nice.
nice.
There's a reason why she's been pretty casual about getting hurt. All right, here we go. 6 and a 5. So 6.
6 is 3 boxes, I think. Yeah, 3 ticks. So all your harm goes down by 1 level.
Okay. Because the 3 ticks will fill my healing clock until I heal.
Yeah.
So everything goes down by 1. So does that mean that
Yeah.
the 2
The
at
2
the
level
bottom?
1s are gone, and your
Okay.
level 3 becomes level 2.
Gotcha. Okay. I just put crashed. I'd kind of like to define that a little more.
You can have a broken leg.
Ribs.
Yeah,
Broken
broken leg.
ribs.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like broken leg. She'll limp along. Sounds hot. Not really, but okay. Into it.
Obeyed.
Yeah, so I get 3d6, so let me roll that.
Yeah.
Another 6
Nice.
of
Yeah.
You
So
guys are-
6 is 3 ticks, which isn't enough to fill the clock. So if you want to get rid, if you want to actually, you can spend another downtime action to roll again, basically.
or a
So
coin,
that-
right? Can't
Sorry?
can't
Or
we
a
spend
coin.
a coin?
Oh, right. You can spend a cred to push the result
Cred.
to a critical, which gives you 5 ticks.
I think instead what I'll do is I'll just take my second downtime action to go through the healing again. And that's 3 6s.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah, a crit is 5 ticks. I don't think. I'm tempted to give you an extra tick because of the extra stick.
Everyone
So actually
heals.
it doesn't matter because 1 tick completed my healing clock, and then 4 more completes it again, so it just takes away all that
You
trauma.
get rid
Yeah.
of all your. Yeah.
So that's
Cool. Then
amazing.
I don't need to think about that. Yeah, good healing. I don't know what to call it.
Can Adam
Where were
spend
those-
money?
Where were
to
those 3
go to a
6s whenever I was flying?
Yeah, we wouldn't even need to heal.
Yeah, yes, Rich, you can spend the cred that gives you 2 more ticks. So you'd still have to roll again or you can spend, I think, 3. Let me check. It's 1 cred to push 2 critical. You can spend beyond critical for 2 creds. So for 3 creds total, you'd get 6 ticks, which
Yeah,
would
I don't
heal
have
you twice.
I don't even need a stash.
I know you into my stash. I just now got it to level 1.
You could also use your second downtime action to heal again.
That's true.
Or buy additional downtime actions to heal.
That's true.
That's it. Yeah. Paying 1 for 2 is probably it's the safer option. It's possible you can get more if you instead spend that cred to get an extra roll, but you could also roll really badly and just get 1, but it's very unlikely. So depends on how you want to do it. Just from a mechanical perspective.
Say again. I'm sorry.
Paying 1 cred to push you to a critical results give you 2 more ticks.
Did that.
But you can instead spend that cred to get an extra downtime action and use that to get and spend that on doing a whole new roll to heal. And that will probably get you. That's very unlikely to get you less than 2 ticks, but you could get more. So it's probably worth it.
I'll do it. I'm
not
always
sure.
willing to gamble on Edma's life. I mean, healing. Sounds good. Thank you.
That's because you have so many dice for the healing roll. That's why I think it's worth. because with 4 dice, it's like 1 in 16 that you roll only 1, 2, and 3, and that's if you roll at least 4, that's two tips. So 4 dice for Etma's healing.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know you want me to go ahead and go again. I'm happy to do it. Here goes.
Yeah, I figure we'll do this.
5. Dang it.
Yeah, so that's still 2.
Okay. Yeah. Got exactly what I have. It's all good.
Cool. This means that you still have 1 downtime action for something else if you want it. Bogo and Bria, of course, have 2 downtime actions. And this isn't like Born comes in and pokes at you and you're immediately healed. This is still going to take at least a week, I think, of you being more or less bedridden.
A week? Oh, we don't have a week. Oh,
I mean, this is Morn and this other Keldor comes in and treats Etema and Bade. They need time to recover. I think we're going to play it like from like a day after Morn has been there. They will be at the functional level they are now, but in the fiction they're still injured, if that makes sense.
Oh,
I think
okay.
while Morn is there, I'd like to get together with him to do some weird advice, indulging with the orb while he's got it.
Yeah.
Just be like, show me some new tricks. Do you have anything to teach me from what you've learned? Yeah,
Morn goes to the artifact, and it's bigger, but there's something, and he like reaches out and not quite touches it, because that's the thing with the artifact, it's hard to actually touch it. You kind of get close to it, and he almost leaps back as the artifact suddenly grows bigger and then grows smaller again, and then starts kind of vibrating. You can't quite. It's a bit. It's unstable in size, and I have before we did this actually added a clock to the events tab. That because the artifact has become unstable. And that's the bottom clock there. It's a tug of war clock, which means that if you empty it completely, that's the good result. If it fills completely, that's the bad result. The good result is that the artifact is restabilized, so it's back to being functional and not dangerous. If it completely fills, then something bad happens, and you're not sure what.
Cool. Yeah, I think I like, well, after Morin jumps up, I'll mimic his actions and try to do the same and feel like as it's vibrating, see if I can do anything to it or feel anything from it.
Cool. So this is you indulging your vice, right?
This is me indulging my vice.
Yeah, so you take your lowest attribute, which is powers of resolve.
Yeah.
So 3 dice.
I think that's going to be definitely resolve.
Yeah.
All right.
3 dice.
6. Nice.
Yeah, you definitely, and maybe this is the first time that you probably felt what you think is the force. That because I think you've had these near sensations before. Yeah,
and kind of like placebo force, probably like, oh yeah, I totally feel it. But this is the first real like, that's
totally wasn't someone just tickling your fingers with a
I think those freaks Boko out a little bit, because like he's been kind of playing at that for so long, and when he actually gets an actual taste of it, then it's he doesn't know what to make of it.
Yeah, and you can sense Morn, who is there close to you, and you can definitely sense the artifact. And the artifact is like Morn. What you can sense of Morn is like a stable presence, but the artifact is like so if Morn is like a pond in the forest, serene, quiet, the artifact is like a waterfall. It's like a constant rush of energy and power that's impossible for you to control. You can sense it, but it's definitely dangerous. That's what you feel.
Yeah, like you feel that too, right, Martin?
Yes, it's before it's also felt powerful, but this is different.
Is this going to be, I mean, it's already a danger to us, but is this going to, do you think it can hurt anyone else here?
If it continues to get worse, then yes, definitely.
I don't know if I can do anything about it, but do you think that there's a way to calm it, or should we just pawn it off on someone else?
I can try something. And he starts tinkering with his weird tech stuff that is left behind here because it's connected to his work with the artifact, and the artifact is here. So I think if you want to, you can spend a downtime action on like working with Morn and helping this along.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Yeah, cool. So I think we'll roll that as a downtime or as a long-term project.
Cool.
Roll. I think the reasonable one. And you'll have help from Morn, so you have an extra die.
Okay, cool. So that's gonna be a tune, I imagine. So 2
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah, or maybe let me check. I don't remember how. Morn. There's Morn. Morn also has an attune of 1. Otherwise,
Okay.
you could have rolled Morns and you. Yeah.
Okay, let's see how it goes. There's a 6.
Nice. So that's 3 ticks, right? Thing. Yeah. So I'll remove 3 ticks from the bad.
Cool.
So it's down to 2 ticks out of 10. So it's you managed to get it fairly stable. It's not all the way there. Morn is still worried that whatever it is that's agitating the artifact could be reinforced again, could push it out of the stable state. So you're not all the way there, but you mostly stabilized it. The immediate danger of the whatever it is has passed.
Cool.
Cool. Kai, what does Bria want to do for her downtime?
Okay.
And so far, all of this has been like within the first day of you getting back to your headquarters. I think you still haven't replied to the Blue Brigade about.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah. So, like, I want to take steps towards that. Like, I don't know, either observing Tor's like movements, and then like give the brigade like a here's where he's likely to be at any given point kind of thing, or just
sorry. The Blue Brigade is the ones you're in conflict with over the turf in
sorry. when I heard blue, I was thinking police.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was thinking about Tor Bracken.
Yeah. The tracker has stopped at the place that is like it's in the Warrens, like at the corner of the Warrens, the Foundry, and the Sextech. Like the
Okay.
that area.
So maybe if I take the equivalent of photos of him being there, I can send it to them and say, here's proof, here's where he stays. So maybe a stakeout is in order.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm such a bad person. And that's a perfect time for me not to be taking care of my kid. So
Yeah. So sorry, who were you planning to send this information to?
I thought we had we were going to.
We're going to send it to the cops or the
Yeah.
Imperials, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to point them at him to maybe get our wild level down.
Right. We were trying to give them something so that we could either get out of war or be less wanted or something like that, so that we have enough maneuverability to do whatever we want to do next, which I don't think any of us knows what we want to do next. I think we're just fighting in a war that we don't understand. But yeah, so maybe I need to find a contact to. I mean, is this just the Petra? Just get information to her and she'll funnel it to the right people in the Empire, or
it depends on what you want to do. Do you want to trade this information for something? Like, say, we can give you Tor Bracken if you back off. Leave us alone. You can get the bigger fish. Or is it just send it to them and hope that distracts them enough that they don't have the resources to go after you as well?
I think it has to be the first. So I think we have to find somebody to make that deal with.
Yeah, and then Petra is probably your best way in, because she's the one you know who's embedded in the bureaucracy.
Okay.
I'm not sure, Stephen, do you know who Petra is?
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Your brother-in-law, sort of.
Brother-in-law's future prospective husband's sister.
Yes.
So kind of.
Yeah. So I guess what I want to do is gather proof of where Tor Bracken is, talk to Petra, arrange a meeting, and in that meeting, trade the information for a little bit of breathing room.
Cool. So my instinct is that this is maybe it's just an action. It kind of depends. It could be it could be acquire asset.
Yeah, I was thinking of yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, either acquire an asset or it's a long-term project to gather enough information that you have something substantial to trade, but it could also just be an action roll. It kind of depends on how we want to play it and how
could we
how much resources you're devoting to it.
Yeah, so could we make an action roll to I think acquire asset would be the person that's willing to deal with us, and then long term is the evidence enough. I mean, because we're trying to get rid of an entire wanted level here. It can't just be an NEC roll, right? So
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how mechanically to handle that, and I think it would have to be. I think we'd do a job that would be like the transporting the information and talking to the right person,
like a social job.
Yeah. And in that case, I think acquire asset is the reasonable thing to. Though actually, that's something that helps you with the mission, and this is getting the. I think we can just do this as a straight up action roll, and if you just want to have confirmation that Bracken is in this particular location, then I think an action roll is you don't need to spend the downtime action on.
I mean,
But
I'd be
if you
willing to
want-
spend a credit to do another action if we want to use my study or hunting or survey.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if you want more, if you want like documentation on what kind of security they have, who else they could capture if they go in there, then
Oh,
that's
okay.
probably a long-term project.
Mm.
Does
Yeah,
that
we
make
just need his
sense?
location. Yeah, we just need to verify his location.
So I guess that's just a sway roll then, or a consort, or I don't know.
I mean, if you want to take the actual pictures, like get
Oh,
the
okay. Yeah, that'd be finesse.
documentation,
Yeah.
then that's probably study or survey or prowl or something like that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay. Well, Boko's more better at some of those things.
Yeah.
But since this is, if you're not doing the long-term project, but just the information gathering, then it's just an action roll, and you can do that together. You can do it as a group action if you want to.
Let's see.
So what you're saying is we can, without really taking, like, without having to gather any more information, we can make a contact and together do the handoff as an action roll.
I think we're talking about two different things. One
Yeah,
is
I'm sorry.
one is getting the actual information,
Okay.
and that's what
All
that's what I've been focused on.
Okay, so
And
action
then
roll
you
for that.
have finding the contact and setting up the job where you're
Okay.
actually
Okay.
doing things.
Okay, I see. So it's not a downtime action to get the evidence. It's just an action roll. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
If you're content with just getting some pictures that shows Tor in that location,
Yeah, I think that's all we need.
which can definitely be enough to trade, but it means
Well-
that's all you have to trade.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I imagine that if we get into it and the dice rolls are kind of middling, they might be like we need more, and so we could go back and do more or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll start with this.
Baby steps.
All right. So yeah, to the two of us. Well, who's gonna? Well, no, these guys are up and going, and Morton's around. So,
Yeah, Morn's hanging around, handling the artifact, and Bade apparently recovers very quickly. So
Rotten
Bade
kids.
is awake and mobile. Etema is not quite as mobile, but still up and about. And you have the rest of the gang. They're staying in the headquarters.
okay. Okay. I think I need to have a conversation with Adama then, real quick.
Yeah, please. I'm a little unhappy that we had so much, like 2 people are in action, 2 people, but
Yeah.
that's
Actually, it's on the hour, so I guess.
yeah, right. So let's take a break, quick break, then we'll. Yeah, so I think this is Etema. You're still bedridden. You got your broken leg. You can probably get out of bed if you really, really want to, but yeah.
I don't wanna. I'm smoking earth and just chilling out, watching some kind of telenovela on the hollows.
Is this a bad time?
Well, I'm almost done with this episode, but I guess I can pause.
Thanks.
What's up?
You were pretty close to dying back there. Um,
Yeah, I thought I
I'm
was
glad
dead.
I'm glad that you survived, but for a moment, when you weren't breathing, any. You mean a lot to me, and seeing you that close to death really shook me up. So I wanted to let you know what Boko and I have been up to.
Wait, you're cheating on me with Boko?
No.
I mean, he's cute, but
is he? We don't want to send any of us to the cube. We keep our gang together. So we're going to make a trade. We're going to give the Imperials the information on Tor Bracken and negotiate them leaving us alone so that no one has to go to jail.
wait, Tor's okay. Tor's the Slimo, but he's doing the real work.
Tor's the only one that we have access to that's big enough to make this work. Because we're not going to turn in Max in.
Okay, good. Yeah, right. See, wait, what about? No, I'm not going to play that game.
I don't want to do this. I really don't. But if it comes down to some of my family going to prison or some of my contacts going to prison, I'm going to have to take care of my family.
I don't feel like I don't want to go to the cube, but what if they torture Tor and they take down more rebels?
We can make him into a martyr.
Okay. I could go for that. So you kind of like me?
Yeah, babe. I like you a lot.
I did a bad thing. So that guy that you slept with for intel, I had him killed. It was all on me. I was really mad. It was a stupid thing to do. I just wanted you to know.
Does that mean if somebody else does wrong by me, you're going to kill them too?
I think it means if I really want you to talk to me first. got these mixed messages. You said we weren't supposed to be with anybody else, and so I was on board with that, even though that was never a thing for me. And then you went and did that, and
Well, that was a job. He didn't mean anything to me. Do you see me upset that you killed him?
no.
So you want to see other people? Is that what you're saying?
No, like the opposite. I don't like when the rules change. You made that rule and then you broke that rule. I don't like that.
But I didn't. It was a job.
Okay. I don't. Okay, well, it wasn't a job, and I went to the brothel because I was still mad. But you can't kill anybody at that brothel. Okay? It wasn't a job.
I only kill Imperials. Babe. I'm a possessive asshole. I get it. You've got needs. I'm not around. I'm never around. I don't like it, but maybe I need to learn to live with that.
How do we fix this? Can we fix this?
How do they do it on the telenovelas?
Cheat on each other and get mad and
Then make up, right?
replaced with a different actor and yeah, exactly. I don't think we can learn any lessons from the clans and the clanless. I don't know. Just tell me. You did tell me. I just gotta get my head screwed on straight. I don't know. We're not any good at this, Bree.
No. I'm not really good for anyone, to be honest, but
Well, until the whole don't sleep with anyone. Oh, by the way, I slept with someone. You were pretty good for me. I had no complaints.
why don't we both set the rules? Why don't we do it equally?
All right.
So what's the rule?
You gonna get married? It's not a really encouraging answer.
I'm and Bria's like this close to just leaving, right? Like this conversation's just too much for her right now, and she just wants to get the hell away from it. but something is keeping her in the room.
I think Edna will stand up, but grabs. I mean, she would probably use a rifle for a crutch. I think that's what she'd use, is a blaster rifle for a crutch. That seems appropriate.
Found it.
So she stands up, leaning a little bit of the weight on that. Okay. Okay, listen. I don't want to see you hurt. And I like being with you. But that doesn't have to mean a whole lot if you've got stuff to take care of for your family. I'm going to protect you no matter what, because part of this gang. So if getting married is something you've got to go do, then I guess you got to go do that. Don't make
In the
any
end,
promises that ruin you or Valsi, okay?
In the end, the marriage, the wedding, all of that, that's just another job. It's another step towards keeping me afloat, keeping us afloat, keeping us on task.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
I guess my rule
So-
isn't don't get married then, I guess.
Okay. Both of us can get married if we want then.
Yep.
Did Edema ever tell Bria that she was looking for her and her family, her ancestors?
Nope. I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out, like, how does she say that? I don't know if she dragged that into this conversation right now.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it.
Ooh,
Like,
okay.
I know you don't have your family like I do. And I understand how much that must hurt. But sometimes family is just another fucking carking obligation.
I don't have my family, but I'm sort of working on that. I found a enclave of Radataki on 1314. It's the biggest. This is selfish, but it's one of the reasons that I wanted to take that job.
You went and found your family during the job?
Not even close. No, I found some Radataki. One of them is going to try to help me. I didn't even have a name to give them. Adam is not a Radataki name. I don't know who my family is. And it's 20 flavors of messed up. They are really weird.
Family's never like what you want it to be.
No.
Well, I'm happy for you. I hope it brings some connection or closure or something that you need. But I'm going to promise right now that I will do everything I can to make sure that my family obligations do not get in the way of us. This gang, my real family.
Make the same promise, of course.
All right, two rules. Marriage, family. We're working.
I guess we are.
You should probably lie down. That looks painful.
I mean, yeah, a little. She'll move over and sit on the edge of the bed, still a little too ornery to just lay down.
Right. You've been upset in the past when I've gone and done things and not told you about it. So I figured I would do something different this time. But I do have to go.
Okay. Well, I've got to finish the show. It's pretty important.
I guess if you have anything you want to say to Tor, now would be the time to make that happen.
I didn't really like him. But
Yeah. Right. She turns around.
Yeah.
Heads out.
Nice. I'm going to be really mean here, and I'm going to do a fortune roll to see if someone overheard you talking about selling out Tor.
Please.
It's not a big risk because it wasn't like a long conversation about that part of it. But I'm going to roll
drama. That's all I care about.
I'm going to roll 4 dice. Count the highest. On a 6, no one overheard it. On a 4 or 5, Bade overhears it. On a 1 through 3, it's someone else, and we'll figure out how bad that is. So does that sound reasonably fair?
Sounds good. Do you have camera this time, or
Sorry?
you using a
Well,
website or a camera? Or?
I did it in the dice roller. I figured out the dice roller works as long as I don't have my VPN on. So that's messing with it. So I'm using the dice roller now. And that's a 6. So no one overheard that.
Okay.
So before we do the surveillance, I want to ask Steven, what's Bade doing while, like, Mark, Boko and Morn are working with the artifact. Kai and Bria and Etema have this. They have some sort of intense conversation going on. What's Bade doing in the headquarters?
So I think Bade popped up pretty well from that chest wound and all of that kind of stuff. Still needs some bed rest, but basically, so she's kind of wandering around and she's telling the rest of the gang the story of how they escaped from Street Sec. And, it's Etema took down 20 people, and then the next story, Etema took down 30 people, and I flew the ship, and I decided as I was coming down, might as well just leave our mark on Corsec building, right? So I just smeared our name across it. They came, I called it in, they came and got us. We're doing great. So she's just walking around being real cocky, and I think is practicing that story on Etema as Etema's recovering, at different points. I figure Etema's kind of dozed out from all the drugs or something like that, and is like, oh yeah, I thought I saw like 30 people back there at some point. Did one of them have like a repeating blaster and they were going after you? I think so. I mean, yeah. But she's
Nice.
just being real cocky. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So let's do Boko and Bria's surveillance. If you're doing this as a group action, you make a roll with the same action, but you can. There's some flexibility here with what you want to use.
I think survey makes the most sense.
Yeah,
Not the target though.
survey absolutely makes sense because
Okay, if I'm- yeah,
you know where the tracker is. You put the tracker on Tor, but it's on his clothes, so obviously it won't be moving with him forever.
Mhm.
You don't know if he'll discover it, but it hasn't been deactivated so far. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to make it a group action, or what do you feel like?
Yeah, I was talking while muted.
Oh.
On Hunt, though, it says gather information about its location and movements.
Yeah, Hunt absolutely works.
I can do Hunt.
Yeah, I think Hunt.
Cool. Let's do Hunt.
Okay.
Awesome. And I get +1 effect on that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So I'm just gonna roll 3, I guess.
So who's is Boko leading?
I'll lead. Yeah, I got some stress to burn. We need to. 3. And 1, 2, 3, go. Got a 5.
We're successful. So let's just see. I've got 2 in Hunt. So survey says.
Doesn't Boko have a 3 in Hunt? No, sorry, you had +1 effect. Yeah.
We both succeeded, but with the 5.
Yeah, cool.
5 high.
Cool.
So 5. You find like the tracker isn't like pinpoint within 10 feet or something. It's like the general area, but you can identify the building fairly quickly. This is it's a residential building on the outskirts of the Warrens. And it seems from because you spend some time on this, because you need to spot Tor himself, it's pretty clear that the rebels control that whole building. That's they're using that. You occasionally spot guards up on the roof. There's transports coming and going. That you recognize some of the people driving speeders, that sort of thing. And yeah, you spot Tor. You've been there for like almost a full day watching, and you have to move around a bit because you're not sure entirely where they're coming and going from. But yeah, you spot him walking out with a couple of other rebels that you don't recognize, or you're not sure. They're a bit covered up, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You can image them and like enough identifying features of the buildings and that sort of thing that it's clear that this is Tor, this is the place. So you cannot. You have enough information to put him at that place at a certain time. Cool, and that's worth something. While I think I want to do one more thing before we cut off. The other thing you notice? No, actually, that's not. Yeah, let's do that. You have you have the images you need. How do you go to and from the location? Do you use this stolen airspeeder, or do you walk, or how do you travel?
Probably safest to walk, and like going up the back sides of buildings on the other up. So like whatever fire escape-y type of things are there. So like ascend the building either outside or inside, like a building or two away, and then use where we came from up there from an upper floor window or the roof if we need to.
Yeah. So you basically, when you're traveling, you're staying off the streets. You're moving across buildings. Yeah. When you're moving back from this place, I think you're going through the foundry because that's the area you know the best. You know good routes. You spot a column of stormtroopers moving from Sek through the foundry. And this is a big contingent. This isn't like one of the patrols that have been before. This is like 40 stormtroopers, and they have tanks. They have, let me drop, I found a picture of the cool tank. I'll drop this. Jobs. It's the Occupier Assault Tank. It's in the current jobs.
Oh my.
Ooh,
Oh
my.
my.
They have 3 of those. There's like one
Nice.
driving. There's one driving in front, a bunch of stormtroopers, one in the middle, a bunch of stormtroopers, one bringing up the rear. And they're moving. It seems they come from the garrison, which is not surprising. They're moving through the foundry and they're moving towards the scrapyard. And that's the action for today.
Yay.
Cool. I'm sure it's fine.
I
This
just
is
want to know.
fine.
I think I still
Just a
have
life
one
day parade,
downtime
that's all.
action. So I just want.
Yeah. We have more downtime actions to handle. If it's something you want to do, that's just a quick thing, then we can absolutely do that. Bria hasn't done any of hers, and Ethema still has one, and anyone else can buy more downtime actions if you want. If you want to get rid of some stress or some heat or something.
I just wanted to note it because I'll forget. So I'm gonna put a note at the top of my character sheet.
Yeah, cool.
What would reducing heat look like at this point?
I
Jeez.
don't know. What would it look like?
So what would it look like? I think is the question. Like, how will we do it?
Right. All right, I'll think about it for next time.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I think we'll cut it here, do some stars and wishes and some general after talk off camera, so that Rich has, so that we're done by the time Rich has to leave. Cool. Bye, internet.
Bye.